Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, my guest, Leah Kayajanian.
Hey, Jay. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Right on.
I just came from a softball game.
Yep.
So
As promised, you are sweaty and dirty right now.
Sweaty and dirty, but I got a lot of adrenaline, so I'm ready to go.
That's good.
Yeah.
And speaking of putting drugs in your system, like adrenaline and other ones, we're talking about Requiem for a Dream today.
We are. We're talking about Requiem for a Dream.
Wow. Why do you hate Requiem for a Dream?
Well, honestly, you said, give me a movie you hate. And how long did it take me to answer you? 4 days?
Yeah, it was a while.
Entire time I was trying to think of a movie I hate. Because my thing with movies is I either forget them completely after I've seen them, or I don't. Like one I've walked out of, but I don't even remember what movie it was. You know what I mean? Usually I'm just like, it's a movie. Whatever. I don't have like that passionate feelings about it.
Oh, man, I wish you remembered.
Requiem for a Dream.
So why does Requiem for a Dream stick out for you?
Oh, God. I mean, it was just a nightmare. It's an awful nightmare, and I never want to see it again, and I never want to be... I mean, I watched it. I was probably in a bad place at the time. You know, I was like in college, and then I watched it by myself.
God.
Know.
Actually, I watched this movie by myself, too.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
But thinking it was going to be like... I don't know. I guess thinking it was going to have some kind of message, maybe? And I don't know that the message is anything but... hey, if you do a bunch of heroin, it ends badly for you.
Yeah, that's basically how this movie gets summed up. If you haven't seen Requiem for a Dream, I'm gonna divert from Leah here and say I recommend it, but it is horrifying. And we'll get
a lot
into
of people do, and that's why I watched it. And I was like, well, fuck all of you. Can I say fuck?
Yeah, you can say fuck. Say fuck all you want.
Sweet.
Requiem for a Dream is a 2000 American psychological drama film directed by Darren Aronofsky, starring Ellen Burstyn, Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, and Marlon Wayans. The film depicts 4 different forms of drug addiction, which leads to the character's imprisonment in a world of delusion and reckless desperation that is subsequently overtaken by reality, leaving them as hollow shells of their former selves. Wikipedia, you are on point with the descriptions today.
Well, yeah. I guess, okay, so from the beginning, you're like, yeah, it involves heroin, it's going to end bad. You know what I mean? There's in every other movie, if they have like some kind of scheme, it's going to, like, there's a possibility that maybe it'll work. But I feel like at the beginning of this, that you're just watching all these people go down a hole to the end.
Exactly. This movie is really bleak and relentless.
Right. And I hate that. I hate bleak and relentless. I need hope, and I need it all the time. I need like one shred of hope. I'll take like one shred.
And this movie's got no shreds of hope.
No shreds.
This movie, everybody in the movie gets addicted to drugs. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the movie has moments of happiness, and then they go into this dark, horrifying experience. Basically, we probably should have stopped watching the movie when like stuff was going well. For everybody. And they were like, oh, I'm going to be on this TV game show. Oh, I'm making money selling drugs.
But I know it's not going to go well. And there's other movies that are, about heroin, like Trainspotting, but it's funny too, which, I mean, that's also kind of a hopeless movie, but it's got like shreds of hope in it and it's funny.
Right.
So it has like redeeming things in the film.
One of the big plot devices of Trainspotting is a scene involving someone taking a massive heroin shit.
Right. So that I can take. I mean, if you're going to take that, and both of them are based on books, and but I don't know. It's just the lack of. I guess I watched it, and then I was like, "What am I supposed to take from that? Heroin is bad. Like that's
I mean, we already knew that.
I already knew that. They told me that don't do drugs in 3rd grade.
And that's the thing. So, are you someone who's done much in the way of drugs?
No. I mean, I smoke weed, done mushrooms.
Mushrooms are fun.
Molly. That's as far as I go.
I had
ecstasy once.
Yeah. That's like the same deal.
Yeah.
I've never gone as far. I've never done coke, heroin, any of those.
Right.
I've done a little bit of the Molly, some ecstasy, acid, shrooms.
Yeah.
Smoked a lot of weed. Used to drink. Don't do any of that anymore.
So exactly the same as me, basically.
Exactly
Except for
the
I won't
same as
even do
you.
acid because something about it. I think it just sounds like it fries your brain.
Well,
so I'm
it's
like,
good, acid. It's right there in the name.
Yeah.
Acid is something that you like that people get thrown on them and disfigured.
oh yeah, exactly.
It's horrifying.
So, yeah.
Of course, nobody wants to do it, but it's a great drug. It's my favorite drug by the far and away.
A
If
lot
I'm
of
going to
people say
endorse
that,
anything, it's a great drug.
Okay.
But not in this movie because the thing with hallucinogenics compared to like really crazy heavy addictive drugs like heroin and amphetamines and meth and stuff and basically everything that's shown in Requiem for a Dream is you can have a fun time.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in this movie is just basic. It's a movie that I feel like. Did you have Dare in your high school?
Yeah,
or your
that's
middle
what
school?
I know. It was in my elementary because
Elementary
I'm
school, you
that
got
much
hit with
older
it?
than you.
Well, I mean, I got hit with Dare in middle school.
No, it was elementary. That's what I mean. I remember third grade writing a Dare poster. Like we all had a
What?
competition about doing a drinking and driving Dare poster.
Wait, you were in third grade and you had this?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
seems like it's way too early to even be
that one
thinking
was, it was
about.
based on drinking and driving. But yeah, it is too
Why
early.
are you trying
I'm
to
8.
think of drinking and driving when you're 8?
I
You're not
remember
even
writing
gonna
a poster like the sun will, or something like it ruins your whole fit. Like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Roses
I'm
are
8.
red,
Yeah.
violets are blue.
I wrote like
You're gonna
paragraphs
crash your
on
car
the
into a
poster
tree.
and got third place. And I'm like, that's too many words. You should have booted me out of there.
That's okay. They're just happy that you got the message hooked into you that
like
early.
really, I don't know what I was pulling from though. I guess it was like, hard 7 years before.
This seems Requiem for a Dream seems like a movie that should be shown instead of having Dare.
Right.
'Cause-
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, because the thing with Dare, and I'm sure that you probably had maybe not exactly the same experience because you went through Dare when you were 8.
Mhm.
But I remember going through it in like, I think it was 7th grade, maybe 6th grade. And basically they just told you, hey, these are all the drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Like, oh, okay. And this one does what now?
This one does the
And
thing?
this one
What is
does-
this thing?
Okay, interesting.
And then all of a sudden, cut to high school, and I'm like, oh, I remember that. What are these drugs? And I remember, here's how I got into doing drugs, Leah. I looked up legal things that got you high, like nutmeg.
Is that real though?
Apparently, I don't know.
I looked up a lot about that, and it said, don't you need like an insane amount of
Yeah,
it?
you basically need to like eat a bottle by yourself.
Did you try it?
No, because
Okay.
I was like, well, why don't I just? Because I was dating a girl at the time who was way cooler than me,
Yeah.
and she had like done stuff.
I assume
and
everyone you
drugs.
date is way cooler than
Yeah, no, that's spot on. Every single girlfriend I've ever had has been way cooler than me. And I was like, yo, you smoked weed before, right? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I want to smoke some weed. And I was like, okay. And so we got that happening. Sorry, my phone. So we smoked weed, and then I was like, oh, this is okay. Yeah, I get it.
Wait, had you drank before that? at
No,
all?
I didn't even drink until college.
So you're just like, yeah, just pass that over. Did you
Yeah.
pretend like you'd done it before, or did you know?
No. Because I was, I was
Yeah.
like, I
You
was
were like
cool
in
with
the-
being
Yeah.
not in the loop.
Right. Okay. So you weren't like, yeah, I've got it. I do that all the time.
But that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't have even thought about that. And then I was like, oh, Dare's, yeah, it says it's this makes you do things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll try it out.
Yeah.
This seems safer than eating a bunch
it
of
seems
nutmeg.
like it's from what they say, it's the safer one of the
Yeah.
it's the gateway one.
Everybody,
so it's the
everything I
bottom
said
level.
that was like, if you eat nutmeg, you're gonna just feel
Be real
nauseous
sick.
and be
Yeah,
real
exactly.
sick. And I'm like, I don't want to
Definitely.
do that.
Yeah.
And also, my mom's gonna get suspicious.
This is healthier for me.
Heroin though, that's one of those ones. I remember they showed a video for ice, which I guess is the old name for crystal
Oh.
meth.
Yeah, wait, I am such an idiot. Is that the same thing?
I
Like
think it is. I don't know.
ice and crystal meth are, I know that.
Ice and crystal meth, but ice and heroin aren't the same thing.
Okay. I thought
I-
you meant that, and then I was like, what?
Nah. But
you
I
just
remember
really threw a wrench in there.
they showed the video for ice, and it was just like somebody like having a seizure on a table. I was like, oh yeah, no, that. And so this movie is basically that cutscene
Yeah.
from that drug movie, but for how long is this movie? This movie's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's brutal for an
Right.
hour and a half.
Right.
Unrelenting.
It's totally brutal.
This
You
movie
know
should be
what?
shown instead.
Maybe you were saying that, and then I was like, because I've always had this like total bias against hard drug, I mean, like, it's always been so scary to me, like cocaine, getting involved. I've had this association with cocaine and heroin and all that. Like, if I
Mhm.
even tried it once, that would be the end of my entire life. All of
Right.
those things. So I don't know where I got that from, but it's definitely from what I've watched. It's definitely from movies, but I can't pin it down to a certain point in my life.
Mhm.
But I wonder if that's when I saw that movie and then I started, you know what I mean? I wonder if that movie is the thing that made me be like,
It could be. Well, because the thing that I think is probably the most horrifying part about Requiem for a Dream, because it plays out like a horror movie.
mhm.
And I think the most jarring part and the scariest part is how realistic the rise
Yeah.
and fall seems, even with all the crazy shit like the hallucinations
Yeah.
that Ellen Burstyn sees,
Right.
and all of the stuff, like the way that it's edited when stuff is really starting to
Right.
go wrong, and like his arm's getting super infected.
Ugh. That might be for me, for some reason, that might be the worst thing. So shooting up in that arm.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that arm, dude.
it's gnarly.
It's so gnarly. And it's, oh God, the idea of that, the idea of being so addicted to something that you're putting a needle in your arm when it looks like that is horrifying to me. I think that's like my version of hell.
Yeah, this. It sounds like watching this movie is like being in hell for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's torture.
It's just
And
a
then
portal into hell.
I will say that everyone was great in it. I mean, Ellen Burstyn was amazing.
Yeah, she got nominated for an Oscar for it.
Yeah. I mean, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But that was super depressing, of course. And, you know, the whole movie is. And I hate that.
Do you feel like this is an acting related question? I guess do you think that because this is who else Ellen Burstyn was up against in that year for Academy Award for Best Actress. And this is something that I kind of covered in other podcasts, is like being like putting on a really good depressing performance versus putting on like a kind of a different show. It kind of pans out differently, because here's what won and was nominated in the same year that Ellen Burstyn was nominated. Laura Linney for You Can Count on Me.
She won?
She got nominated.
Oh, she got nominated.
Juliette Binoche for Chocolat.
Okay.
Got nominated.
Okay.
Joan Allen in The Contender got nominated. And your winner, Julia Roberts, is Erin Brockovich.
Shut up.
That beat Ellen Burstyn.
I remember her
in
winning.
Requiem
I
for a
didn't know that
Dream.
was the same year.
Same year.
Oh my God.
Now, that's the thing. Erin Brockovich, kind of a feel-good story.
Right. And I wonder if, I mean, I kind of thought that. I kind of thought Requiem for a Dream is like a actor's dream role, you know,
Yeah.
because then you can really...
I mean, that's the thing. It's really, you're going in so deep, and you're playing to like, you know, the whole story is showing everybody's rock bottoms.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Right.
And the way that plays out, especially given that she's the only one who's not doing heroin either.
Right.
She's the one who's doing something different.
Ugh.
And that's almost scarier.
Yeah.
Because then she has to deal with her delusions.
Right. Right.
Do you think she should have won over Julia Roberts?
I'm trying to remember her performance in Erin Brock. I think she was really good in Erin Brockovich, but I mean, I don't know how it could have been better than Ellen Burstyn. That's one of the best roles I've seen. I mean, she was so good. I was very upset I'm still upset about the movie. It's been
You're
years
here now.
It's been almost 20 years since I've seen it, and I'm still upset. And part of it is her, and part of it is Jared Leto's arm.
Yeah.
And those two things have stuck with me. I vowed I would never watch it again, so I definitely didn't watch it. I recapped myself on what happened.
I mean, it's one of those movies I haven't watched again since I saw it. It's one of those movies that I see a lot of people in, I guess, I don't know, film Twitter or film Reddit or whatever, wherever I lurk every once in a while.
Yeah.
People say this is one of the movies that you can watch once and then basically never watch it again.
Never watch it again. They do say that, because I thought that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's just that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And the thing with Darren Aronofsky is, as a director, he doesn't now make movies that are like that. I guess except for maybe Mother, which I hear was
I didn't watch
brutal
that
and
one.
unrelenting.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. But I love The Wrestler.
Oh, I love The Wrestler.
The Wrestler's fantastic.
I liked Black Swan.
Yeah, Black Swan. Oh, I could watch that movie all day.
Yeah, that one was good.
And he also directed The Fountain, which I hear is really good. Noah, which I also hear is really, really excellent, but I've never seen.
I haven't seen a lot of movies too. I should put that out there.
Oh, no?
No.
Are you not a movie person?
I like movies. I don't know how I haven't seen it. Like, people will be like, "You haven't seen that?" And I'm like, "I don't know how. I watch movies."
What's the last movie you saw in theaters?
In theaters, I saw, what did I see? It was a superhero, The Avengers.
The new Avengers?
The new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
no,
wait a minute.
I mean, I go to movies, but
Okay.
probably ones that aren't I wouldn't go to I go to movies to feel fun, like have a good time. I'm not going to go watch a fucking
And you're not going to go watch an
story in the
ass-to-ass
theater.
scene.
Right. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Was that ass to ass?
The ass-to-ass is in Requiem for a Dream.
I thought she just pegged her
No.
with a
It's
strap on.
ass-to-ass.
It's ass to ass?
I mean, there's a whole. That's the whole. That's the name of that scene on the DVD.
Oh, really?
If you go watch the DVD
it says
credits, it's ass, and that's because that's just the only line in the scene is a guy going ass to ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I must have blocked that out.
Oh, yeah.
I think at that point I was just like, of course, fuck you, of course,
It's so. This is the real big question that has been brewing in my mind since hearing you talk about how you saw it for the first time. Why did you choose to watch it by yourself?
I didn't know anything because I'm 19, I'm trying to be cool by watching all the movies and reading the books and listening to the indie music and stuff that everybody's like, oh, this is a good one, this is a good one. So I don't know. I'm just like piecing things together that people tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like at my house and I'm like, oh, I hear that's a good movie. Like, it's so naive. I don't even think, a lot of times I'll watch a movie, I have no idea what it's about all.
Did you go to the Blockbuster and rent this movie by yourself?
Yes. Yes, I rented it from a Blockbuster and I watched it on my computer in my room. Like,
Did
I remember it.
Did the person at the Blockbuster say anything to you when you picked it up?
No, not a
No warning.
And I don't remember renting it. I just that's a memory. I just remember watching it and where I was and being like, I hated that and I'm upset now.
Did you ever at any point feel like shutting it off?
Why didn't I shut it off? That's a great question, Jay. I never once even thought about that. I mean, I think I thought maybe there'd still be, because I, as a person, always have hope. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think as that, I thought that maybe one thing would be okay. And I know that's naive, but I was like, maybe something will happen that'll make anything okay in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why I didn't shut it off. It wasn't. You're right. It's a good film in that everything looks great. Everybody's doing a great job. It's well written. Right.
Well written. There's a lot of talk about style and the way that he's edited the movie. Darren Aronofsky has a lot. It's very quick editing. There's actually, I mean, there's a whole section on the Wikipedia page that is so. In his previous movie, Pi, which I saw, I watched on a plane.
Pi too. Actually.
I liked Pi, but he uses montages. This is ripped from Wikipedia. He uses montages of extremely short shots throughout the film. While an average 100-minute movie has 600, 700 cuts, Requiem for a Dream features more than 2,000.
Oh, wow.
So the whole movie is designed to be jarring and make you feel disoriented. And that really ramps up even more and more as everybody gets more and more addicted to drugs,
right?
Which is bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a lot. There's something to be said about the way a movie can really kind of make you feel unsettled.
Yeah.
And I think that is why Requiem for a Dream has has had such an effect on you and other film goers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this is also a movie that not a lot of people saw in theaters.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I can't imagine going to a theater. I mean, maybe like a sad guy in New York one day was like, I'm going to go check out this artsy film.
Well, there's some movies that you watch and it feels not like a mistake to watch that movie because afterwards you feel weird, but you're like, I mean, that was a really good movie. But like, I remember one time when I was in college, I was watching Grizzly Man when I was going.
Oh, God.
I was hungover. And that was the movie that had shown up on my Netflix from when I still had DVDs on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Way back in the day. And Grizzly Man was there, and I was like, all right, I'm going to watch Grizzly Man. And Grizzly Man is not a movie to watch when you're dead, hungover on a couch.
Oh no, I never watched it, but I knew about. Did you know about it? You knew the movie?
I mean, I'd heard it was good.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't expect it to be a feel good movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie about a guy getting eaten by bears.
Right.
And you hear him getting eaten by bears in the movie.
Oh my God.
But I was just like,
I stayed away from that because I knew that was the thing. I was like, no.
You made the right call.
Yeah.
Did you know the kind of movies that you liked before watching Requiem for a Dream, or were you still kind of finding your identity?
I think I was definitely still finding my identity. And I honestly, I don't know what kind of movies I like now. I mean, I like
Really?
I like a movie that it doesn't upset me. You know what I mean? I just want to be this. I mean, it can upset me for a second, but it's like I just want it to be either funny or have some quality that's not all depressing all the time.
That's fair. You go to movies for escapes. Like your kind of drug movie is Dazed and Confused, or Dude, Where's My Car?
Or I like Trainspotting. I like that movie.
Trains because it's funny.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
I've never seen Trainspotting.
Oh my God. Have you read the book?
No.
Book's really good too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't read a lot of books that are based on movies, actually, now that I think about it. Or vice versa. What did I say? Books that are based on movies?
I don't know, because I was trying to keep up with you. I was like, do I have slow processing?
No,
is that wrong?
I think I slow processed out of my mouth. I think that's just what happened.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. It's like, because I mean, I also grew up not being able to see a lot of stuff. And I think I've talked about being sheltered and this whole like weird upbringing. And this is definitely the kind of movie. Like I feel like my parents kind of covered the whole like, oh, you should not do drugs, but it was all the Christian angle, right? Of like, God's not going to like if you do drugs, and you're like, have you done drugs? You get to hang out with him, you get to meet the guy. He's pretty cool,
exactly. And that I don't know. That doesn't seem like it would stop that many people.
That's the thing. It's one of those movies. This is okay. I'm gonna make this right now, and if my podcast still exists, whenever I have kids. I'm gonna make this promise to my listeners and to you, Leah.
Oh,
You're gonna
I'm excited. Whatever this is.
If I ever have kids, as soon as they start being able to like pay attention to drugs and be like, all right, guys, we're gonna have daddy child movie time, because I don't know what gender I'm gonna have. Oh my God. I'm not gonna engineer that yet, and we're gonna watch Requiem for a Dream together.
Oh, that's maybe child abuse, but also brilliant. I don't know how old, like 10.
I guess. Well, 13, I mean, everybody's developing 12? So much younger now, too. Yeah,
that's true.
Have you seen 8th Grade? Not yet. No. That was the last, I mean, you just said the last movie you saw in theaters was The Avengers. So 8th Grade is a movie that just came out. Bo Burnham directed it.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole sequence where it's this 8th grade girl, and she's hanging out with some high schoolers who for like a high school shadow day. And they're talking about like, so wait, when did you get a smartphone? And how old were you when you had Snapchat? And she was like, I had Snapchat in elementary school. And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff it's not like anybody's going to be hidden. You can't hide anything from anybody anymore. Right.
But they're not more mature. They just have the technology.
Right.
Like I work at a school.
That's
and the
right.
kids
You do.
all have smartphones, but they forget that things that you show online are online, and that's everywhere now. So like they constantly forget that. I don't know how they forget it, but they constantly do. So they're always getting in trouble for tech related stuff.
You know what there needs to be is a Requiem for a Dream, but about social media.
Oh my
addiction.
God, there should be a Requiem for a Dream. And the more we're talking about this, the more I'm like, I'm so glad I watched that movie, but I hated it.
It's a bad. I mean, it's hard for me to say that I hate this movie, because I really don't. But it's also, I mean, I can't imagine wanting to watch this movie again.
Right. I feel like that also. Have you ever seen Synecdoche, New York?
Yeah.
I liked it because I like Charlie Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
But I left feeling so weird. And I was like, I never want to see that ever again.
Yeah. It's one of those, and that's an impressive filmmaking feat, I think, to be able. That's why I think Darren Aronofsky gets so. This is why it launched him into the stratosphere.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that you feel it come off the screen, and it's really rare. Like I think there's a couple directors who are working today who can do that. Darren Aronofsky, obviously. I mean, we saw the reaction to Mother. Everybody flipped a goddamn lid about Mother.
Yeah,
because you get all this crazy imagery, and it's him like being classic Darren Aronofsky and being provocative and making you feel anger and sadness. There's a couple of directors who are working today that do that, but there's not a lot of people, and this is you included, who want to go to a movie to be feeling the feels.
Yeah. I wonder if like sometimes I'm like, because I've seen a few real things that were shitty, like not like obviously I wasn't around heroin or anything like that.
Right.
So I'm not like that, but like things in my life have happened that have been shitty and kind of dark, right? So I wonder if like people are using movies as an escape from that stuff, because I don't want to see a movie that's dark because of that, because I'm like, I've seen things in life that are dark. Why do I want to watch something that's going to make me feel shitty or depressed or scared? I don't like horror movies either because I don't want to be scared. Why do I want to be scared? I've been scared in real life by men walking behind me down a street. Like I don't want to see it in a movie and feel like that. But I understand like other people love that feeling. So I don't know if it's because they've had just like chill lives. I don't know. I don't know why you would want to be scared. I can't relate to that, I guess.
I can't. I mean, I think that it's for me at least, it's about craft. And it's about like the same way I appreciate watching a comic tell a well-crafted joke.
Right.
Is the same way that I enjoy watching a movie that puts you into a certain headspace. Okay. But that's me being a film douche critic, whatever school background. Right. That's what I had to watch and had to try and learn and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. These are the tricks. These are the things that they're doing to make you do this thing. Right. That makes sense though, because you studied it and I studied lit. And so with books, I'll go way deeper and way darker. Yeah. Do you read books that make you feel uncomfortable? And I'm fine with that. And I think that's amazing. So that might just be what it is that books, I could do that all day. If it's a dark book, I don't mind it nearly as much because I'm like, well, this is a piece of literature and I look at it like that, So I probably wouldn't have minded the book. That's we're basically in the opposite frames here because like film is my lit essentially. Though I like reading books too. Yeah. Do you feel, this is a sort of a generic question, do you feel like movies that are made based off of books in general do the book justice or is it something that people should just give up even though it's been going on for years? I mean, that's such a good question. I would say I think the book is better, I'd say 95% of the time. And then there's been maybe, I can't even think of the example. There's a couple times that I think the movie was amazing and better than the book, But it's never going to stop. Right. I wouldn't stop it because like some books should be movies. Some books are so visual and beautiful. They should be movies. And if you get the right person to do it, you could really do it great. Is there a book that you have read that you would like to see made into a movie that isn't yet? Oh, man. That is tough. This is where we're getting into the I forget everything stage where I'm like, I can't remember one, a book I've read, and two, one that hasn't been. You know what I mean? I'm like, I read like 20 books this year and I can't remember one of them right now. I'm like blanking. 20 books this year? Well, yeah. It's a good year for me. I admire that. I'm going to give you a little clap sound effect. It's a good year for me. Now. Usually I'd be like a little behind on them, but this year I made it a point. I was like, I'm going to read more this year because it makes me sad when I don't. But I can't tell you what. I read The Hate You Give. That would have been a good. I think that's becoming a movie. Oh, really? I think so. I saw crazy. Something about that. Yeah, you should make that a movie. My idea. Called it. Do it. Dibs. Hey, there you go. Quick. Leah's on there. Stamp. Copyright office. You guys are done. Yeah, that would actually be a good movie, I think. I actually really think I would really love to see your version of the social media Requiem for a Dream. Because you're around teens and preteens. Yeah. So you know what it's like. I feel like you could actually probably do a really good version of that. Oh, but could I bring it there? Can I go there? Can I allow myself to like go dark with a thing, Yeah. You think so? I think you could. I mean, I can go a little dark, but only when it's about me. I don't know. I got to end on some hope, Could I end with shreds of hope? Would that be okay? I'm cool with that. You're cool with that? Look, I like a movie that ends on shreds of hope. I enjoy a movie where things don't feel like they're going to work out. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to see those movies all the time. I mean, I'm not going to try and be some fucking edgelord and be like, yeah, any movie I got to watch has to end with ass to ass emotionally. I don't care about that all the time. I would love to see movies that have maybe like a glimmer of hope. Mm-hmm. But I also love movies like The Graduate where the end is like it starts out happy and then it stays on them for longer and then you see the fear, the hope drain out of their faces and get replaced with the fear. Yeah. But that one didn't necessarily count. I wouldn't even put that in that same category. I like The Graduate and I like the end because it wasn't, yes, it was on their faces, but it wasn't
it's not like hopeless. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is this second, and they're still alive, and they're still, maybe they're not going to end up together and go get married or whatever, but it's not over.
It's
and
not like the bus crash.
Yeah.
And that's why they got sad. They're
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, we're about to go off a bridge.
And maybe she didn't want to marry that guy. So regardless, regardless of what happens with those two, why would she run out of a wedding if she really wanted to marry that guy?
Is there anything you think that the Requiem for a Dream that Aaron Darren Aronofsky. Hey, Darren. Hey, Aaron.
I didn't even notice. I'm just like, yeah.
It's his little brother. Is there anything that you think that the really anybody in this movie could have done to make it a more pleasant movie-going experience for you? Because I'm not going to say to make this movie good, because I feel like we both agree that the movie is objectively good, but it's a fucking drag.
No, I think it is what it is. I think you can't change the movie, because then if you change that movie in any way, you're just like some asshole that's like, oh no, I wanted to make it a little nicer for people, and that's not a good decision either.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not a good decision to sweeten it up a bit so you don't know you're tasting poison. That's not
right. Yeah, it compromises the art.
Right,
directly
exactly.
Of it.
So do it as hard as you can. That way, I'm just not going to like it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
I did watch it, so you got that viewing. You got that rental, whatever you get for me renting it from Blockbuster.
I feel like it's a movie that you rented and then you forgot. Or you didn't forget, but you just actively were like, oh, and you, as soon as you watched it, you threw the case somewhere, and then you got a bunch of late fees because you're like,
no, because
I don't
I'm
even want to touch this
insane
movie
about
again.
doing everything correctly all the time. So no, I did not do that, but I would have if I was like a different personality type, probably.
Man. Leah, is there a movie that you would recommend to people to watch that doesn't feel like a movie that's going to drain you of all hope and happiness for the rest of the day?
Does it
like
have to be a recent movie?
No.
A League of Their Own. One of my favorite of all time.
There you go. That tracks.
Yeah.
There
you go.
From softball.
And it doesn't end perfectly either.
No?
No, have you never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Jay.
I know. I'm sorry.
A good one. It's a good one. If you like any movies like that.
Okay.
At all, then it's a good one.
I've seen Angels in the Outfield.
It's better than that.
Okay,
but that's good as well. Because I like every baseball movie. Good is probably overstepping on that one. Do you like The Sandlot? You're Smalls.
I love The Sandlot. Yeah.
Okay.
Squints.
Oh, it's Squints. Yeah, Smalls is...
He's the other guy.
Yeah, he's the other guy. Yeah,
Squints is the one.
Yeah, Squints is the one that can play.
Yeah. He can play, and then he also he pretends to drown.
Yes.
Man, Squints.
Yes.
He's got a little Me Too action going on.
Yeah, he did get I know. I watched that again, and I was like, oh, I forgot how fucked up this is.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Hey, look, it's all kids. We
he's just
can
a little
laugh
rascal.
at it.
He's a
little rascal.
Yeah, right?
Leah, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
I can't wait to see your dark, depraved Requiem for a Dream social media movie.
Oh, yeah,
that I must again beg you to make.
Yeah.
Where can the listeners find your work?
Let's see. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, my work, like stand up.
Yeah, I mean wherever you want to do the things. It's at Leah KJ, right?
KJ, Kayjay.
Sweet.
So yeah,
there you go.
Me.
You can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com for show dates.
Oh, LeahKayajanianComedy.com. I forgot. Or not comedy, LeahKayajanian.com.
Is this LeahKayajanian.com?
Sorry, I jumped into your...
That's okay. I
remembered as you were saying it.
I'm glad your name is unique enough that you can just go.
I was like, this is the coolest. I would have bought it even if I didn't do anything. I would have just been like, yeah.
I'm stuck up against the former dean of the Harvard Business School and a professional oboist.
I saw that when I Googled you.
Man.
When I was roasting it.
It's not a great. I'm just happy I'm the top Google result for J Light now.
Oh, you are?
I think, yeah. Over the past couple months.
Yeah, you are. And then that guy came up though, and I read it, and I almost wrote a joke about that.
Oh yeah?
I spent a little time on it.
I appreciate that.
I tried, but it would have been very weird.
It's okay. You tried, and that's what makes me happy. Yeah. Guys, this has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.